Welcome to Devotionables, brief devotions for busy people. I'm Aaron Pickert, back again, giving you some more love from the Bible, and today we have the Old Testament passage from Exodus 4:10 through 12. I'll read it to you real quick. Moses said to the Lord, "O Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past, nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue." The Lord said to him, "Who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or mute? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and teach you what to say." Well, I don't know about you. That's a mouthful. Backstory. This is when God is preparing Moses to lead the Israelites out of bondage. And there's some things that went on just a few passages before. We had the burning bush. And, that's when God's like, "Hey, I want you to lead the charge." And we had a stick. It became a snake, probably a little bigger than this. But we had that. We had signs and wonders go on. And through all that, Moses was a reluctant leader. And he kind of threw out the excuse party several times. There was some, "Who am I? What do I say? What if they don't believe me?" And the AJP translation, it would be like, "Lord, do I have to do this? I really don't want to." That's kind of where he was at. And the Lord, it says it in here, he was getting kind of angry. And that's just not a side I want to be on, but he lets Moses have it. Speaking of the who gave man his mouth, who makes him deaf. So here's my, again, AJP translation of that. I can just kind of see the Lord going, "See that mountain over there? I made that. And how about that sun? Yep, I put that in place. Hey, I am the great I am. Have we met? Now, go to work. I'll take care of the details." That's big. And that's just a couple verses. I don't know. But there's always that question, what can we learn from that today? And two things I feel like you can kind of tease out real quick is even our Bible superheroes sometimes were reluctant servants. I think about my man Gabe, and he's doing his top 10s. And if he did top 10 Bible heroes, I got a feeling Moses is going to be maybe in the top 5. I'm kind of getting a nod from him right now behind the camera. He's a Bible superhero, and yet right here, not just once, not just twice, several times, he's this reluctant guy. He's like, "Ooh, I don't want to do it." Moses spoke directly with God, saw signs and wonders, but still questioned the plan. How much worse would we be if we were in that situation? And how much worse are we now when we don't physically see God and we don't necessarily see just miraculous signs and wonders? We need to seek God's will and to serve Him wholeheartedly. However, something you need to keep in mind, God's mission will not fail because of our hesitation. So really more than anything, you need to pray to the Lord to reveal His call in your life and then do your best to heed that call. The second thing, God doesn't always call the equipped, but He always equips the called. I'm sure you've heard it before. I'm saying it again right now. I'm not the guy that coined that phrase, but Moses was called to lead a nation. And you know what? He may have really, truly felt ill-equipped to do that task. Could you imagine just being a guy and next thing you know, you're walking, there's this bush on fire, and this voice says, "Hey, I'm putting you to work, and you're leading this whole nation." So I'm sure there was a little bit of, trepidation there. But when you feel the call, it's not our job to start the excuse party. You need to stop the "I'm not this, I'm not that," and you need instead just to say, "He is. He is God. He is the one. And if He's calling me to be one of His tools, I better get to work." I'll give you a little secret. I struggle with praying. And one of the reasons I struggle with prayer sometimes is I'm a little afraid of what God will tell me what to do. He might say, I need you to do this, and it might take me completely out of my comfort zone. And I've been known to even have some sassy prayers sometimes. I know it's not good. Don't tell Pastor Craig or Pastor Cook, but, sometimes it's good just to be in that regular communication with God. It needs to be a little bit candid. You need to feel that relationship because that's when you're going to hear Him. That's when you're going to feel that call to do things that maybe you don't normally do. So as I wrap up, here's my challenge for you today. Ask the Lord to guide you to your next step in your spiritual journey. He may not ask you to lead a nation, but He might ask you to invite a coworker to church. He might ask you to sign up for your first mission trip here at 9th and O. He might ask you to try out for the praise team, volunteer for the children's or the youth ministry, but whatever it is, it's time for you to step out knowing that God will equip you. And I challenge you, whether you're looking at this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever else, you know what? Put a comment down below. Tell us what you're praying about. Tell us how the Lord's leading you so we can know how to pray for you and how to better encourage you in that process. Thanks again for coming by for Devotionables. Hope to see you again soon.